Well, this is my little corn crop. When I was in Kentucky, I grew huge. I mean, they were so big, my garden and the corn, and I had a freezer then I could put it on. I don't have a freezer, so I didn't plant that much, but I wanted to taste some really good corn. And we already been eating some. As you can see, the little tassels they're brown, they're ready to pick probably. That's how I usually tell. But let me tell you, none of my corn has had any cornworms. Do you know why? Because I had a friend, an old lady, sweetheart. She showed me a long time ago, many years ago. She takes a few drops. She used to use mineral oil, but I just used some olive oil. And when when it first comes out, you just drop a few drops of oil in there, and those cornworms won't get in your corn. And I don't have any cornworms so far of any of my corn that I've picked. Looks like that one is really ready, and that's a pretty good sized ear. But now some of that corn is just really, really small. I was wondering on this stuff here, it comes out. I wonder if that could be used for anything other than just going back into the ground. It's really dried now. I know that the silk from the corn, when you open it up, the long strands of silk, people actually use some of that for medicine. That's one thing, even though I'm into my herbs, it's one thing I haven't done yet. I'm going to look into it a little bit, though. So I hear that the corn silk is really, really good for you. I always try to eat some of mine. Other people just pick it all off, and you don't like these long, old, stringy things. I'll eat a few. I'll pick it off in general, but I'm going to figure out how to process that and what it's good for, if I need any or not. I'm real excited about these little tiny melons here. Are the best flavored melons. They are so good. They're not real big, but they're sweet. You don't have to add anything to them. You can just eat them, and I don't need to add stuff. I'm getting chunky enough as it is. They are so good. I got one. My plant's not doing really good. The ground, I didn't have a chance to really amend this very well. I do in my boxes over there. I put manure and stuff before. We didn't get any this year, but we'd had some manure stashed here. It is so freaking hot. It's just burning my plants. The sun is. But my squash have done amazing. These are beautiful squash. I dried some today to put in soups in the winter. They are so beautiful. They're like a yellow zucchini. I don't know what the official name is with the green star on the end. They're a little milder than a regular zucchini in flavor. They're awesome. I really like them. And a friend gave me some seeds for Hubbard Squash. And if you can see in here, I've got all kinds of they're not very little, some Hubbard Squash growing. This is my biggest so far, and you really can't tell on the camera. That really is a pretty good size squash, especially for me. That'll be a winter one. I'll have to harden off the outside hull. I got one hiding in the grass over there. See the orange? This is middle of the day, really hot, and the leaves, they'll perk back up in the evening when the sun goes down. But the sun's so hot, it's literally burning some of those leaves. That's why I put up a few, I had an pretty old tablecloth and some other pieces that went with it, like curtains and stuff, but I don't use them in the house. I'm just using them for shade in my garden. Like this one here, because the sun gets at a certain angle. And I've got another little cucumber plant I planted in there. And I don't want it to burn it, that afternoon sun, to burn it all to pieces. So I put the little shade up. And then on my bell peppers, I just hung this up here. It's kind of a little curtain. And this is an interesting plant. I kept it in the house over the winter. It was a purple bell pepper. And the beginning of the year, after it got healthy again from the long winter in the house, it was absolutely loaded with the most beautiful lilac-colored bell peppers. Then all of a sudden they started turning all different colors. They're good eating. I've got yellow and orange and purple all off the same plant. And fascinates me. Let me walk over here. I want to show you. You know, if you can use whatever you've got on hand for stuff. This one is a tablecloth, and it's really kind of pretty, but I don't ever use it, so not really, and it's got a little stain in one area, so I probably won't. But it makes a great shade cloth. I've got it on the sticks on the end and tied it down because I've got another little cucumber plant in there. I don't want to get burned from the afternoon sun either. I got a few clouds coming over right now, but it's not too bad. But anyway, just a couple little tips to share with you today. Hope you all stay cool. Bye.